Maturity grows from experiences and mistakes, teaching us the meaning of patience and resilience. Controlling ego, forging a wise heart, delving into the oceans of the world with intelligence and fortitude. It's not about age, but about attitude and understanding, realizing that life is a journey. Maturity is not a destination, but an eternal process, guiding us to live with wisdom and courage. In maturity lies sincere consciousness, blending dreams with a fair reality. Grow, O blossoming soul, in your maturity, shine with a captivating light. There are many cultural heritages in Indonesia left by our ancestors. Some of them are famous regional arts in the eyes of the world. One of them is the stone jumping tradition originating from the Nias tribe in the North Sumatra province. Nias is one of the islands located in the North Sumatra province, precisely situated to the west of Sumatra Island. The existence of Nias Island is quite well known, not only for its natural beauty, but also for its unique way of life of the indigenous people of the island, known as the Nias tribe. The distance between Nias Island and Sibolga, a regency in Sumatra Island closest to the island, is approximately 136 kilometers. Meanwhile, the area of Nias Regency is about 1004.06 square kilometers. There is something particularly interesting about Nias Island that always attracts the attention of domestic and international tourists, namely a tradition called Fahombo, or Fahombo Batu, or stone jumping. Besides being a paradise for surfers with its beautiful sea, Nias Island is also a place where megalithic historical sites can still be found. Various cultures and the uniqueness of the Nias people can be discovered when visiting here. One of the most popular cultures there is the Nias stone jumping. It became so popular that a scene of a man jumping over a stone was once featured on one of the Indonesian banknotes. The Hombo or Fahombo, or stone jumping tradition, is a tradition passed down through generations by the Nias tribe in North Sumatra. This tradition, which is only performed by men, can be found in the Bawomataluo village, one of the traditional villages that still strongly uphold this tradition, located in South Nias Regency. Bawomataluo itself means Hill of the Sun. The village is situated on a hill at an elevation of 400 meters. If you come here, make sure to take the time to witness the beauty of the sunrise and sunset. The view is truly magnificent. The 2-meter-high stone jumping tradition serves as a sign that the young men, or youths of the local village have mentally and physically matured. Aside from being regularly showcased in traditional events, this stone jumping tradition attracts foreign tourists to come to Nias. The Nias stone jumping tradition, known locally as Fahombo Batu, or Fahombo, involves jumping over a stone that has been arranged to a height of 2 meters with a thickness of 40 centimeters by all Nias youths who have reached adulthood. In addition to being displayed in various customary events, Fahombo has its own allure for tourists. En Nias Island, when a man successfully completes the Fahombo, he is considered physically mature and will later become a Samui Mbanua, or La Mbahor, in case of conflicts with other villagers. Due to the prestige of this tradition, families of the young men who successfully jump over the stone usually slaughter several livestock as a form of gratitude for their son's achievement. The tradition of stone jumping has been practiced for centuries. This tradition is preserved alongside the megalithic culture on an island spanning 5,625 square kilometers, with a population of 700,000 people, and surrounded by the Indian Ocean. The Fahombo tradition is passed down from generation to generation among boys. However, not all boys are capable of performing this tradition, even if they have been trained since childhood. The Nias community believes that besides training, there is a magical element from the ancestral spirits for someone who successfully jumps over the stone perfectly. Originally, the tradition of stone jumping originated from the inter-village warfare among the tribes on the island of Nias. The Nias community possesses a strong and resilient character, inherited from their warrior culture. In the past, the ancestors of the tribes on the Nias island often engaged in warfare due to provoked vengeance, land disputes, or slavery issues. As a result, each village fortified its territory with stones or bamboo walls that were 2 meters high. Consequently, the tradition of stone jumping was born and performed as a preparation before going to war. The nobles from the Belugu stratum, who led the island of Nias at that time, would determine whether a Nias man was worthy of becoming a warrior. The criteria were that, in addition to having a strong physique, a warrior also needed to master martial arts and magical arts. They also had to be able to jump over a stacked stone that was 2 meters high without touching its surface at all as the final test. In ancient times, the Fahombo attraction not only brought pride to the Nias youth, but also to their families. Families whose children succeeded in Fahombo would hold a feast by slaughtering several livestock animals. After the inter-tribal wars ended, Fahombo developed into a ritual for local youths to prove their maturity. This art of Fahombo is not practiced in all villages on the Nias island, but only in specific villages. Nowadays, the tradition of stone jumping is no longer for preparing for inter-tribal or inter-village wars, but serves as a ritual and cultural symbol of the Nias people. This tradition has become a cultural attraction that is performed alongside war dance performances, which depict past battles. However, since war dances involve dozens of people, cultural performances may focus solely on the stone jumping aspect. Fahombo is not performed just anywhere, but in a specific location that has been used since ancient times and is still passed down through generations. In addition to the location, the Nias stone jumping tradition is also performed at a specific time determined by the village community. The execution is witnessed by the entire village. Long before the Fahombo event takes place, each participant usually undergoes rigorous training. They train to acquire the correct jumping technique and to find ways to avoid injuries while jumping. Since childhood, Nias boys are encouraged to practice for this stone jumping. The training does not immediately involve jumping from high stacks of stones. Instead, they are trained through less challenging activities. For example, children will practice by jumping over small trees. However, as they grow older and as the days pass, the intensity of their training increases. They may progress to jumping from stacks of stones that are not too high. After reaching a sufficient age, they will train using actual stone structures. When observing these young men perform the stone jumps, it may seem easy. Wearing traditional Nias warrior attire, their faces appear carefree while doing it. However, performing this jump is not easy at all. They must train from the age of about 7 to 10 years old. Additionally, the risk of injury during this training is also very high. Some have experienced broken arms or legs, even fractures in the rib bones, or head injuries from hitting the stones. In terms of the stone's dimensions, the stack has a height of 2 meters and a thickness of 40 centimeters, and some may be even higher. It takes not only regular training and a strong body to perform Nias stone jumping, but also strategies to jump over the stone correctly without getting injured. All participants prepare themselves by standing at a distance of about 5 to 6 meters from the stack. After taking a leap, they then run towards the stack of stones, stepping on a stone that will propel their bodies upwards. Their bodies soar, jumping over the large stone in front of them. If no part of their body touches the large stone, then they are declared successful. Based on various sources and literature, several prominent values and characteristics are found in the tradition of Fahombo Batu, or stone jumping in Nias Island, North Sumatra, Indonesia. These values and characteristics are as follows. First, physical strength and agility training. To successfully overcome the stones, adequate physical strength is required. In addition to strength, individuals also need to practice and develop agility. Through this tradition, individuals or teenagers are expected to grow into physically and mentally healthy individuals with strong physical and psychomotor skills. Second, enhancing courage and fighting spirit. One positive character found in the tradition of Fahombo Batu, or stone jumping, is the enhancement of courage and fighting spirit. As quoted by S. Dharma, the following statement applies. The young men will be recognized as brave men if they can jump over a pile of stones, specifically constructed to be over 2 meters high. There is a special ritual ceremony before the young men jump. Wearing traditional attire, they run while stepping on small supporting stones first, in order to pass through the high stone structure. Overcoming the stones requires courage, which can serve as a reflective medium for young people to understand the importance of courage in the process of life. One aspect of this is the courage to make decisions. Jumping is a decision, and once the decision is made, a person must be prepared for various risks, such as injuries and so on. This reflects the fact that resilience and courage in taking risks and making decisions are necessary to achieve success. Third, forging maturity and readiness to face life's challenges. The Fahombo Batu, or stone jumping tradition, holds philosophical value as a symbol of a child entering maturity and readiness to face challenges in life. In other words, by successfully passing through the stone jump, a child can internalize the values of maturity to fulfill tasks and responsibilities as a worthy individual entrusted with a duty. Maturity is closely related to the character of responsibility, which involves readiness to take significant roles in social life. Maturity also signifies the value of independence in carrying out developmental tasks well without relying on others. Fourth, cultivating perseverance and enthusiasm in practice. From the ages of 7 to 10, children in Nias Island, North Sumatra, Indonesia, are prepared to face or participate in Fahombo or Hombo Batu. This practice emphasizes the value that to attain the status of maturity, marked by the ability to overcome the Hombo Batu, or stone jump, effort, hard work, and disciplined training are required. Another interpretation is that life is a journey, and each stage of life must be well prepared so that when the time comes, one can grow into a mature and well-rounded individual, both in terms of personality and character. Therefore, through the Hombo Batu game, children are expected to prepare themselves adequately before entering the phase of maturity. Fifth, possessing heroism and fighting spirit. As history tells us, Hombo Batu, or stone jumping, is a tradition born out of social conflict. This tradition serves as a means to train and prepare young people to face a battle. If practiced in the present day, the war referred to is no longer about taking up arms to disable the enemy, but rather the challenges of life, both internal and external. Present-day life can also be interpreted as a war, a battle to conquer the enemies of life itself. These enemies are obstacles that can hinder an individual's path to success. From this culture, we can learn several positive character values found in the tradition of Hombo Batu, or stone jumping on Nias Island, North Sumatra, Indonesia. Positive character values such as physical strength and agility, courage in making decisions and taking life risks, as well as resilience and heroic spirit, are traditions that are considered necessary and should be preserved and developed into a cultural-based character education model. The development of this model can be done, for example, by creating replicas of Hombo Batu, or stone jumping with sizes adjusted to children's ages. Children are provided with media and trained to build character values derived from this tradition. Children can also be presented with stories about the history and origin of the Hombo Batu, or stone jumping tradition, so that it can become a source of pride internalized as a character trait, encouraging them to have a fighting spirit in their lives. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to this channel, and those of you who have watched until this moment. Stay tuned for more videos only on this channel. For those of you who haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button to not miss out on upcoming videos. Thank you to all of you and see you soon.